When I went to US, I was 11 years old. I always watched this television called Family Time. Michael J. Fox played this character, and he was a Republican and he was a investment banker. So I always wanted to go into investment banking. So when I graduated from NYU, I went and interviewed for banking position, and ultimately I ended up at JP Morgan. I focused a lot on IPOs, mergers and acquisitions, junk bond, leverage debt. Many different side of the high-power finance is what I was exposed to. That was one of the best training experience that I have gotten. You have to understand different company. You have to come up with different scenarios. I came to Korea, that was right after IMF. People understand it as Asian financial crisis. In Korea, they say IMF crisis, but it was banks borrowing too much. They weren't really hedged on their currency. There were mismatch between their assets and their liability. And so when it blew up, everything just imploded. The banks failed. We were hired by Korean banks to get rid of some of their non-performing loans. And so we worked a lot. We worked on Daewoo Motors being sold to General Motors. We worked on many different transactions. That's when I had my first exposure to Korean companies. When we first started Southeast Regional Center, I could understand about the risk, but I didn't understand EB-5. And EB-5 was whole another issue of immigration, how they calculate the job. So in any situation when you don't know, you go to the best. You find where you could get the expertise. My expertise was a gentleman named by Maury Beret, and he worked for USCIS as a director of EB-5 program. So he ran the program, and when he retired, everyone came over to him to gain his expertise. And so I went over to him to talk with him, to ask for his help. He reviewed the documents all over again. What we weren't getting approval in the beginning, he has helped us to make sure USCIS is looking at exactly the project, different aspects of the project that they were asking, that we were able to respond to them with the right answer. So that was the beginning on SRC. You don't want to focus on somebody who's looking at a project and saying, okay, how do I attract EB-5 investors? How do I make my return from other investment side? Manufacturer should be focused on manufacturing, not on finance. Finance is important, yes, but their primary focus should be their main business. When I met the CFO and CEO of Ajin, our first project, I knew they were focused on manufacturing cars. They needed new funds, yes, but their main focus is manufacturing body frames, body components for Hyundai and Kia. And when I met with the management there, I immediately liked the CFO. He was a very honest man. Usually typical engineers are very honest people. They're not very good interpersonal skill because they're an engineer, but they tend to be more straightforward and honest. So immediately, I think the management is the key issue. I could trust their management, like their management. I appreciated their transparency. So they were honest to me. So I wanted to help them and secure their financing. But at the same time, we needed some other way to make sure that our investors were repaid. We asked the CEO to pledge a guarantee. The project who's taking EB-5 money will not have any second ideas. To discourage any other thoughts and to ensure that every penny will be paid back, we asked the parent company to sign a guarantee. And we filed a mortgage. We filed UCCs on our project. I don't know how many regional centers actually files these mortgage and UCCs and registers the guarantee. I don't know of any other regional center. But we go to this extent because we believe it's important for us to making sure that we do everything so that our investors will be paid back. Fund VII, we took the same philosophy and concept and applied to this company called Ecoplastic. Ecoplastic has an exclusive arrangement with Hyundai. And so we know without a car bumper, the car is not going to be finished. And we know the exclusive arrangement with Hyundai. And so we could change or shift the risk from this specific company to Hyundai. Because of Ecoplastic's close working relationship with Hyundai, ultimately, we sincerely believe that if there's any other issue, Hyundai will be the one to come in and pay our EB-5 investors. Our Fund VII is very unique within the market. This is the first time we're offering this project in South Korea. What is the difference compared to other projects? We have first position mortgage. We have UCCs on the first position as well. Then we have second position on the entire U.S. operation. It's not just one building, but we get the entire guarantee from the company in USA. So they are risking all their U.S. assets to making sure that will pay us back. The second thing is reserve of cash balance. They need to have certain balance of cash reserve during the last year so that they could pay our EB-5 investors back. Before that, they cannot pay their parent company. There's cash restrictions, cash transfer, dividend transfer. We also have the parent company guarantee. Parent company is a publicly traded company. There are some people who say there's way too much debt on those companies, which I agree. But I think you need to focus on the big picture. This company, again, is an exclusive supplier to Hyundai. If Hyundai fails, yes, project is at risk. But if Hyundai fails, South Korea will also be a very difficult situation. As long as Hyundai is in operation in Georgia, they will be able to pay back. If they run into trouble, I believe Hyundai will be the first person to come and pay off the EB-5 lenders and make sure the operation never gets interrupted. So all these components find it very difficult. So please compare these kind of issues that are different than other projects. Do I believe this project is the best project that's out there? Yes. I've done my best to structure the project. I've seen other projects that's out there. But again, this project is very unique in that we only focus on investors' portion. You have to see, will Hyundai operate without this company? And the answer is no. So they cannot source car bumper components from another company. You cannot give it to American supplier. What happens if they keep on raising the rates? They has to pay. That instance, Hyundai learned a very good lesson in Montreal. They shut that plant down, and all the factory that they create, they bring their own suppliers. Remember, Hyundai needs to control its suppliers. They work for Hyundai, right? Not vice versa. So if they run into any kind of issue, I believe Hyundai will come in and pay off anybody to take over control of that company. I see many of the people in US, they work, they build their wealth in United States, but you cannot do that unless you have a legal status in US, a permanent legal status. And I've seen so many people run into many difficulties. We wanted to make sure that our project, the legal status, especially through EB-5, will be firm foundation in the United States. We welcome anybody who wants to come and see the factory. If they can't fly to Atlanta, and they'll gladly take you tour of the factory. Meet the people there and see what you're getting involved with. But always compare with other projects. Please do your due diligence. If you cannot do it or you don't have time for it, hire experts. Review the document. See where your money will go. See the entire process. See where the risk lies. And I'm certain that if you have done that, that we will be great partners together. When you come to the United States, we want to be lifelong partners with our EB-5 investors. Thank you.